The season is so exciting. You're gonna have to hang on to your hat and your socks because it's gonna blow your socks off, secure your jaw. It will be dropped and you're gonna be left as a skeleton with nothing.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Joey Nolfi with Entertainment Weekly, here with the cast of RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars 8, and for the first time in All-Stars history, a Queen of the North is coming across the border for the competition. That's right, it's her special day, but let's be honest, every day is a special day when you are in the presence of the drag icon that is Jimbo. Thank you so much for being here with me, Jimbo.
Wow, Joey, what an introduction.
I try.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm excited to be here with this look. I mean, this look is, it's signature Jimbo. It's giving us everything. I love it. The way the blue light is just framing you right now. It's just fire
really?
and ice. I love it.
Oh, wow.
The breasts, I mean,
yes.
can we get like
yes, well, I wanted to wear my breasts for you. I knew you wouldn't want to see me any other way.
No, this is the only way I like Jimbo, is this way right here. But I don't know, Jimbo, I feel like it makes sense that you're back on All-Stars because I really feel like you had such a placid and peaceful and uneventful ride through UK versus the world. I mean, this is your time to shine.
Yes, I know. That was just a easy breezy kind of show.
No drama at all?
None. No, none at all.
So this is your chance to really come out of your shell.
Yes. As I said on the show, I wanted to win.
Well, can't wait to see what you do.
So, yeah.
You were great TV on UK versus the World. Like, seriously, it was some of the best television of the year, as you were also on Canada's Drag Race Season 1. You're now, I believe, the first international queen from a different franchise of the show to compete on American All-Stars. I think that is correct. Do you think that puts like an odd pressure on you? And how did you feel about entering the workroom?
There is an extra pressure on my shoulders, but pressure makes the diamond. And I love being under pressure, and I love diamonds.
Did you have maybe a different mindset going into the competition this time around versus on UK versus the World and Canada?
I think so, yeah. I think this time I really want to be a little bit more strategic.
More strategic?
I know.
What?
The first times I was just sort of flying by the seat of my pants. UK versus the World, everyone said I was unpredictable and that I had to go. And so I thought this time I want to just be predictable, just play it cool, play it simple, fly under the radar, and just sneak to the top. That's what I really wanted to do.
I can't tell if you're being serious right now or if this is strategy. You're just buttering us up to make us think you're gonna fly under the radar.
Oh my
That's not
God,
the case.
well, I tried to. I really did try to.
Well, what is Untucked like with Jimbo this time? Because I meant Jimbo in the same room as Kandy, Muse, Heidi, and Closet, Darienne, that cannot be an easy sit.
Well, I always love the Untucked, and of course, in any scenario, it does get spicy, but who doesn't love a spicy Untucked? If it's not spicy, you have an Untucked, right?
Right, exactly. And if people are saying they like when it's just all kumbaya and Untucked, they're lying. They're totally lying.
Come on. We like a little bit of kumbaya, but it needs a spice.
Yes.
A little bit of spice. A little bit of that spice.
Spoken from the devil herself. You also came to this, your trajectory on this series is just, it's so wild to me. You went from Canada's Drag Race Season 1 as a contestant to competing on UK versus the World as a contestant to then sitting on the Canada's Drag Race panel as a guest judge on Season 3. So did that mess with your mind a little bit, going from literally judging Drag Race to back to being a contestant?
It definitely was in the back of my mind thinking oh, and now I've seen the other side of the competition, and so I guess it did give me a little window, a little extra insight into what it is to sit behind the judges panel, and so I think it definitely helped a bit. I liked being behind the judges panel. That was really fun.
Yeah, what was that like? What was it like being behind the panel, actually giving critiques? Did you find that maybe being a contestant first changed the way you maybe critiqued people?
Oh, for sure, yeah. I definitely was feeling for my sisters up there, and I definitely loved not being under pressure, not being afraid of elimination or some sort of dance battle. So I was really happy to just sit there, eat snacks, just judge the girls, and look at those Shambolina Shamble looks that they made.
The Shambolina looks.
It was a making challenge, so there's always a few Shambolinas at the ball.
Did you agree with the elimination of that challenge?
The elimination of that challenge was chaos, and I felt bad for chaos. I was so into chaos and their drag, and it's definitely different when you're watching the show from home.
Yeah.
You get a total different sense of who these people are and their characters than when you see them for that moment judging, so it was very eye-opening.
Yeah. What's the best behind the scenes moment that you have from sitting on that panel?
The best behind the scenes moment, I think, would just be looking over and seeing Brooklyn Heights and seeing how far I had come from being terrified Jimbo on the stage with the makeup skills I had with me at that time to all of a sudden being this newer, not fully formed, but on my way to being fully formed. I don't think I'll ever be fully formed. I always want to keep evolving and growing bigger and bigger.
This form. I mean, this is fully formed right here.
But, you know, I had a lot to kind of show and work on, and so I really felt like that was a great opportunity for me to do that and to see Brooklyn there, and it was just amazing.
You have to have some tea on her behind the scenes. Does she have like any weird, quirky rituals that she does before the show?
Let's see. I think just like smoking, drinking, wandering around, judging. Sometimes she'll put her ash out on you.
That's all between takes on the set. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
It's very Joan Crawford.
Yeah, Brooklyn Heights and Joan Crawford. Yes, very, very much equivalent. Now, again, you are no stranger to giving us great TV, both on season 1 of Canada and on UK. And I want to go back to that iconic moment from season 1 of Canada, leaving Canada's Drag Race. Nobody wanted to see you go, but when you did go, you gave us a show. You seemed so genuinely shaken by that elimination.
Yeah.
Queens usually just give a little smile and a laugh and they say their little catchphrase, but you were like crawling and screaming and like it was such a good moment. So take me back to that moment and the decision to not hold back those emotions. Was that planned? Like, I'm gonna give you an exit that you're gonna remember?
Well, I am a clown, and the clown is all about emotions, and it's all about really being honest with your emotions in the moment, and it's about sharing that, and it's about turning up the volume, especially when you're on a show or when you're, you know, in that performance level. So I definitely took those feelings I was having and just cranked them to the maximum. And when you're inside your ultimate dream come true, and it's just been shattered, and it's in front of the entire world and on record for all time, it's those moments where you think, what are those dramatic things that you've seen throughout life? What are those scenes? And falling to my knees, screaming why at the sky, those moments are reserved usually for deep pain and serious trauma. So I wanted to use my one fall to my knees and scream for my first elimination.
Yeah. No, there is a depth to it too. I think a lot of people might watch that moment and think it's like campy and funny, but there is a very serious element to it. Yeah. Because I mean,
and then I fell, and then I remember just breathing, and I just remember smelling the stage and breathing, and it's over, and it's over, and it's very intense. And then I just crawled away, and as I was crawling away, I heard them like, "We love you, Jimbo." I was like, "You," because I was like, "You love me so much. Why am I crawling off this stage?"
Yeah, exactly.
But it was because I tripped on my dress coming down the runway. There was a lot at play that night, but Michelle Visage, she certainly didn't help.
Michelle Visage didn't help, speaking that out into the world. Winning the show, obviously everybody wants to win the show, but I think the quote unquote robbed narrative does sometimes help people. Do you feel that maybe helped you push you further along in your career?
I think that people have rallied behind me. So I really was struggling at that time. I was an unknown queen from a small island on the west coast of Canada. I had 1,500 followers. Throughout the course of the show, I gained hundreds of thousands. So there was this rally behind this unknown sort of underdog character that was judged and sort of put down. So I think having that sort of exit, as sad as it was sort of a to be continued.
True.
And it really added this extra layer where people were still kind of rooting for me after the show, going like, damn, I really hope they get another chance. I really hope we get to see what happens next. And I wasn't really fully done then. So it makes sense. You know, I left the show, I had my makeup glow up, I went back for UK versus the world, and I'm continuing to glow up. So I hope that you get to see some more sides of me on this new season.
So even though it was a traumatic exit, did you take any mementos from the set? Because I know a lot of queens love to take things.
You know, I do have sticky fingers. They're clean, but I do have a few things. So this is from my Snatch game. This is my placard. My Jonah Rivers. Oh God, can we talk? Oh Joey, can we talk? And these are my cards. For my answers.
All your answers.
And I had so much fun. This is my winning Snatch game. I won as Joan Rivers. And from UK versus the World, I stole this.
What is that?
This is a lock of RuPaul's hair, Mama Ru.
How did you get RuPaul's hair?
She didn't even wake up. I mean, notice. She didn't even notice.
You just snuck into her room and snipped it?
Yeah, I'm sneaky. I have my ways. And she wasn't looking, and I just and she was like, hey. And I was like, hi. And she was like, what are you doing? I was like, oh, just came to see if you're okay. Are you doing good? She was like, yeah. I was like, okay, bye. And now I have this.
I'm surprised you're allowed to have sharp objects around RuPaul.
So I'm gonna make a ponytail.
Yeah, just that, like bald head, and just tape that to the back of your head, and that's it.
So yeah, it's for my voodoo doll if I don't win All Stars 8.
Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Touching RuPaul's hair. Oh my God.
Isn't this so
I feel like
soft?
the Holy Spirit has come over me right now.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's
gosh.
like
This is
spun
great.
silk.
Thank you so much for bringing those, Jimbo. I really
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that. I do want to talk about UK versus the world too. It kind of got a little contentious for you. That's putting it nicely. I think on the opposite side of the spectrum of the fandom, I think, because you go from Canada and then the trajectory on UK, I know that must have been difficult for you, the whole Pangina situation.
Yes.
Was it difficult for you to process that flip of the fandom that you sort of had for that very brief period after UK?
Yeah, I think being a part of this Ru Girl sisterhood, you kind of see the fandom target different people throughout the series, and each time there's a new series comes up, there's moments that arise, and different queens become the target of a lot of online energy and comments and all these different things. So I certainly, on Canada's Drag Race, I got so much love. So when I got a bit of trolling and a bit of hate on UK versus the world, I was okay with that. I mean, it was par for the course. If you are in the public eye and you're in a competition show where people are heavily invested, those same investments help me be loved. And so, you know, I know all the energy is not always positive all the time, but at the end of the day, I know my intention, I know who I am in this world, and I am a wonderful person with a great heart and a lot to give. And so I think that people just need to realize it's a show, and we are performers on a show making ourselves bigger for the world to enjoy. And so I think we all have to just realize that a lot of it stays within the world of character and within the world of the show and doesn't really come out with us.
Yeah, and it's also like there's so much filming that goes on, and like to see this much, because you can't fit everything that is filmed into like, you know, a 1 hour TV show.
Exactly,
So I understand that. I do think that the moment with Pangina after you came back, that did, you know, cause a lot of the discussion in the fandom.
Yeah.
So is there any element of, I hate to use the word regret, because that implies that, you know, I'm sort of incriminating you, and I don't mean to do that, but is there an element of like, maybe if going back, I would have said something, I would have said it differently?
No, I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, I said what I said, as Tamisha said. Yeah. Do I regret it? No, like, that's Untucked, and I was in my feelings in those moments. Of course, do I want to handle it differently? Sure, maybe, but at the end of the day, I was eliminated early in something I had put all of my heart and soul into, and I owed it to myself and my fans to give a performative reaction. And so I didn't want to sit there and be like, no, I'm fine. No, it's all a show. No, I'm totally fine. And just hold it all back, because who is that serving? I'm not doing my job then, and nobody's getting the entertainment that they want out of what is the story here. Yeah. So I wanted to be honest and deliver a root of my feeling, but amp it up for entertainment. So I hope that people don't take it too seriously, and I hope people just laugh and go, that is just meant to be funny. And I didn't mean anything by it to Pangina. I love Pangina. She's so amazing and so beautiful.
You guys are good to this day.
We are. It's just a funny moment. It's like, you know, take it for what it is, and it's not very much. So
I mean, it's like I would hate for some of these people to see like what actually is like goes on in like drag dressing rooms at shows. It's like, that's like, I mean, it's drag. It's just, this is just how it is.
Oh yeah, no, I know it. It's just the claws come out. We don't glue them on for nothing.
I know you were having fun with it after your elimination too, because Blue has regularly told the story that, like, I think it was like at craft services or something, you were like, you better eliminate Pangina or something like that.
No craft services, but in our hotel, we were locked away. Okay, yeah. And I heard her across the hall coming in, I think, from filming the night before or the day after, sometime when I wasn't supposed to. I cracked my door quickly and I popped my head out and I was like, get her! Eliminate her if you have the chance. Get her for me! And she's like, I will. And then they were like, Jimbo, close the door! And I was like, ah! And I just lied and I said, oh, I thought I heard someone knock on my door.
You heard an opportunity knock on your door to take advantage of the moment. That is what you did.
And she listened, so I was so grateful.
She did. Yeah. She did listen. Yes, I completely forgot about that. No, it's a fun moment. What do you think of Blue's song with Ru, and how do you think you would have fared on a song with Ru?
How do I feel about Blue's song with Ru? So Blue and Ru re-recorded an old song of Ru's, and Blue did some original track on it. I believe I've listened to it. I don't recall, but I remember thinking, that's it.
That's your review.
Yeah,
Lovely.
it's like, ah.
Do you think
I
you
mean,
would have done better?
did I dance around in the aisles and was I like passing out? No. Did I buy the song or will I ever find it again? No.
Yeah. Oh.
But will I cry if I hear it? Maybe.
Maybe. Okay, we got a maybe. No yeses in there, but we got a maybe.
I don't know. Yes, she recorded a song. Good for her. I have no idea. I'm pretty sure I expected more. Let's be honest here.
Maybe so.
I expected, in my idea, at the end of a big prize, you want the full meal deal. The new song, the whole shebang. To me, it felt a little bit amazing. I'm just gonna curl tail that last bit. It felt so good.
I like that. Yeah. That's a good review.
Okay, good. Cut it there.
Now, talking to you about All Stars 8, I've been asking everybody this question, and you cannot say yourself. Who do you think is the queen who's going to surprise people the most in terms of their glow up on All Stars 8?
I'd say probably maybe Jessica Wilde.
Yeah.
I'd say she, is an OG queen from season 2, and she has been out there twirling for, I guess, 10 years or so since her season aired. Yeah. So that's a lot of time of growth and a lot of time to really invest into your drag and your art form. So we're expecting big things from Miss Jessica Wilde.
And on the runway, who do you think is gonna gag people the most on the runway?
The people who's gonna be gagging the most on the runway, I'd say people are gonna gag the most over maybe Lala Ree. Yeah, the Lala Ree experience is like an onion. There are so many layers to it. I find like I'm always finding out more about the Lala Ree experience every time I enjoy it. So her fashion and her beauty and her style and her dance is just so incredible. So I think everyone's gonna be blown away.
It was better than just a bag this time.
This time she left the bags at home.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. Now, in terms of All Stars 8 in general, how do you think this season is going to gag the children? Like twists, turns, what's coming?
So in general, the season is so exciting, also terrifying. It's a wild ride. You're gonna have to hang on to your hat and your socks because it's gonna blow your socks off. It's gonna knock your hat right off. You better hang on to your eyeballs because they're gonna pop out as well. You better hang on to that tongue because it's gonna be on the floor. Secure your jaw. It will be dropped and you're gonna be left as a skeleton with nothing at the end. That's how good it is.
Put that on the poster for All Stars 8.
You are gonna be shooketh to your core.
I'm already.
And nothing will be left.
I'm ready to be completely vaporized by
It'll
All
just be
Stars
this
8.
beautiful shirt and a pile of bones.
Bones, yes, like that meme that they're always like the twink on the bed with just the skeleton and the jockstrap.
That's you.
That's me.
You.
That's gonna be me.
Yeah, that's gonna be you.
Well, Jimbo, thank you so much for the wonderful interview and the great tease for All Stars 8. We were so excited to see what you do on the show.
Oh my God, thank you.
And stay tuned for more with the cast of All Stars 8.